Hello, welcome to November 28th, 2022. My name is Kurt, and this is my Good Life meditation video. This is Rudy the dog. Ollie took his little place, so now Rudy has to sit with me, which is a very precarious and dangerous affair because he bites. He has this way, don't let those sleepy eyes fool you. He can turn in a moment and take a good stab out of me and draw some blood. He's nasty that way. So I'm a little bit careful. You touch the back of the nuts when you get bit. Yeah, I see you there. So I don't know why Ollie decided to take his bed this morning, but there you go. So I got to give him a place to give him with me. Yeah, I see you giving me that look. I'm gonna go quickly then to get over this danger. This is how you deal with this hazard. He's not all that bad, but he will bite, and I can sense it coming off of him. I can sense the vibe coming off him. So how do you deal with that? How do you deal with that with a precarious situation? Well, you know a bite is imminent. I guess that I need to simply manage it the best I can, right? Try not to touch him where I think he's going to provoke a bite. There we go. Try to encourage him to rest like that. That's good that he's laying down. And then just move forward as quick, the best I can. Anyway, this is a video that I make each and every day, just after waking up, to go over my life objectives and principles, and to see how I did applying them to yesterday and last night, and then to plan for today. First, last night and yesterday. Slept so last night. Both Yumiko and I had a hard time sleeping, thinking about work. She was up and I was up both. I think really the first time I can think of that I knew that she was awake beside me and I was awake too. Didn't say anything to her, because I've learned, she knows it too, that the more you poke the dog of insomnia, the less likely it is to lay down and rest. So we just lay there. We'll talk about it later. We both need to bring this work period of our life to an end. We really need to retire and finish this. Just you can see it on the horizon. Just need to get there. And everything's all messed up. This whole arrangement here, the lighting, everything is. I'm gonna have to work on this. The replacement of stuff. I was doing cleaning yesterday, or on Saturday, and I rearranged the whole room because I was deep cleaning everywhere, and I can't get it back the way it was. Oh well. Oh, and good morning, Parker. Let's continue. Yesterday was just a good, sound, solid, fun. It was a fun day. Yumiko and I got up. We went out to the dog park. We did a little shopping first, then we went to the dog park immediately. Took the dogs, but that was pretty late in the morning, to the dog park. I took them for a long walk before that, long walk. Then we went to the dog park, which is a beach. It's the dog beach. It used to be Tin Can Beach over here in Huntington Beach. That was fun. Had both the dogs off the leash. Neither of them ran away, which I was afraid that the black one, Ollie, would run away, but he didn't. That was good. Otherwise, and then from there we had lunch at Mona Lisa, here in Italian restaurant here in Huntington Beach. Delicious, affordable, really good food. We had enough left over for dinner as well. Then we did a little bit of shopping. Then we had ice cream. Then we came home and had a really nice... Sorry. We had a really nice evening together. We just locked the doors, shut all the blinds, shut out the world after the dogs had their final walk, and just spent the evening together watching The Crown. It was fun. And then went to bed. And then I dreamed of work. I dreamt of work. And now work is about to begin. It's 4:30 a.m. exactly. I got 2.5 hours till the work starts. Ugh. Okay, let's do the good life. My 7 objectives are as follows. Number 1 is to be always ready to die. To have my affairs in order, my life's work in order and my relationships. I'm mulling because I was going to change something up at this one. I was thinking about it yesterday. I was going to say that my life is complete once I make this video, but that's not right. I was going to say that I'm ready to die once I make the video. That's partially right. I really should do this when I get to principle number 5, the principle of purpose. Oh, let me hold off until I get there. Again, this is me working on my creed, right? Adjusting things around. I'll talk about it more when I get there. Number 2 is the second objective is to make good and effective use of my time. To squeeze a good day out of every day. Where good doesn't necessarily mean fun. Good can be the uphill climb towards virtue, or not towards virtue, but in pursuit of virtue. Doing things and making efforts in that regard. Number 3 is the development and maintenance of good and sound life principles, which is precisely what I'm doing now as I recite and consider the Good Life Creed. Number 4 is the cultivation of good emotional reactions, just making myself into a human being who reacts well to the world around me. Not flying off the handle or getting upset. Did have a little bit of challenge this weekend. Emily was home for a while, and adult kids coming home, sometimes they act like kids. I was frustrated with the way she left shoes all over the floor in a Japanese household, no less, where we've got a shoe box and you should leave them either outside or put them in the shoe box. Yet I found 3 pairs of shoes scattered around the sofa, and it upset me. I talked to my wife about it. I released a little bit of my emotion, saying, why do we have to live with this, these shoes here? And no resolution came of it, but I think Yumiko talked to Emily because the shoes were cleaned up shortly thereafter. I guess that's reasonable. It's not an unreasonable emotional reaction to get a little bit upset about untidiness in a normally well-kept house. Well-kept, I think, is the word. Okay, swinging on back. The next objective is to recognize, this is number 6, recognize my true limits and my true opportunities so that I'm staying within bounds. That's an interesting way to say it, staying within bounds. So if I recognize what's not within my reach, not possible for me, then I'm staying within my bounds. And if I recognize what is within my reach, then I'm staying within my bounds. So I guess that's a good way to say it, yeah. 7, and the final objective, is to do just one thing at a time and do that thing slowly and deliberately and carefully, not to multitask. Okay, now I have 32 principles. The first of these is the principle of war, to always be fighting against whatever I think is true, or whatever anyone proposes to me that I should believe is true, or anything that I want to on board as possibly true. I need to run it through the ringer of reason, which is the second principle. Reason has 3 sub-principles: honesty, objectivity, doubt, 4, and humiliation. I am reasonable when I am honest with myself and others, objective in my view, looking at things as clearly and accurately as possible, and from many sides, as many sides as possible, as reasonable. Skeptical, not readily believing, and then ready and willing to be to accept the humiliation of discovering when I'm wrong. Next comes two that go together: the homunculus and the anchor hold. The homunculus is my word to describe the consciousness, which feels a little bit like a rider, an inhabitant living inside my cranium here. It's my consciousness. And then the anchor hold is the fact that my consciousness is trapped inside my body and won't escape my death. It will wink out when my blood pressure drops sufficiently, or my electrical, firing in my brain comes to an end. That'll be the end of me. Imagine what that eternity of nothing will be like. It won't be like anything, because there won't be anything about me at all to experience it. Next, and this is number 5, is the principle of purpose, and this is where I'll talk about something kind of new and different. There are 3 sub-principles here, 3 purpi, if you will. One is to work hard to be a good father and husband, to fulfill my biological mandate to mate and reproduce, get my genes into the next generation safely and successfully. And Emily's almost there. She's an adult, almost done with university. I'll always be her dad, but I won't be a little kid dad anymore. The second part of purpose is to be a virtuous human being, where virtue is nothing more than the working towards the pursuit of the improvement of the well-being of thinking creatures, happiness, improved happiness, virtue, improved happiness not at the expense of others necessarily, and reduced suffering, particularly from those who can suffer and know happiness. Now, the last part I was going to add is my life's purpose is complete when I make this video, because Going Alone, my book, and that's the third. Oh, I forgot to mention that. The third purpose is, I forgot that one, is whatever personal mission I undertake. And my mission is to share the story of Going Alone, which is my book. Available on Amazon or at any bookstore. If you go to it and ask for it, they'll get it for you. Or you can buy it from my website if you want a signed copy. This is Going Alone, and my goal and my mission for the rest of my life is to share this story, because it's a good story for those that are interested in being more objective and realistic about life and how to live well. I outline an adventure that kind of is an eye-opener for the fact that we're kind of alone in the universe. That's what the alone part is about. And then recommend how to come back and embrace society and community and family, and make that our centerpiece. And then I offer a creed of these 7 objectives and 32 principles to live by, and a way to squeeze virtue out of life. So the thing is that my purpose, since this is my purpose can be measured as complete each and every day when I make this video. This video is like the ticking of a clock, tick, tick, let me write that down. It says clock ticking. Clock ticking sounds like people get upset because I'm always talking about death. Ticking clock of purpose. How about that? That's better. Ticking clock of purpose. My ticking clock of purpose is a daily tick, tick, tick of making this video. When I make this video and then I uploaded it to across the various social media and share yet once again the Good Life Creed, I've done my duty. Myself identified duty for another day. And I'm not. The rest of the day is just fluff. I mean, I really can just die anytime after that. The rest is just extra. And yeah, I like that. So I'm going to mention that every day when I get to principle number 5. That my day of tick, tick. Maybe I'll finish it off by saying the video is tick, 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 or something like that. That really resonates with me. it also kind of makes the rest of it, including work, just like extra. Kind of takes the edge off, especially work. Doesn't mean I'm not going to do it and work hard, but I'm not doing it to pursue any particular end anymore. My purpose, my end is complete. The work is just a means to the end of supporting all of this. Doesn't mean it's not important. It just takes the edge off in a way. I can feel it. I can feel the edge dropping away. I like it because I need that edge removed. Stress, after all, is a killer. Okay, number 6 is the atomic principle. Everything is made of bits and pieces, atoms and molecules, including us, and animated with energy, and we're falling to pieces. And then the principle of nature. Everything has some particular nature, including us. And it's good to recognize what that nature is and live in better accord with it, abide it better. And then the pirate ride. Free will is an apparent illusion. We are not free. We are, and we're not determined by the universe. We are compatible with the universe. We are like the orbit of planets around a star, although far more complex than that, which is partially what gives us our sense of agency. When in fact, well, we are agents, but we're not. We're hardly in control, and I can't prove this. It's just what I suspect to be the case. Everything, the universe has a lot to say about what choices we make. In fact, maybe all of them. Okay, next is maturity and the sub-principles of wisdom, fortitude, and integrity. We are mature when we wisely remember our past successes and failures and have the strength, the fortitude to do better. Integrity is the result where our life actions are in alignment with our values. It's a worthy goal. Next comes the social principle. We're social creatures. We need each other, and our best ends are social ends. These sub-principles here are diplomacy, justice, conspiracy. Diplomacy, because what we have to seek after as social creatures is to work together to identify reasonable ends of virtue. And then, in other words, justice also is another word for that. And then we link arm in arm to conspire together to make those ends real. And next comes the principle of public speaking and the sub-principles of big words, eloquence, prudence, rumor and gossip. To speak well, to communicate well, written and spoken, we need to have a good, large vocabulary that we can use to choose from the best words to use in any particular circumstance. Doesn't mean showy words. It means the best words, the words that will convey our meaning in the most complete and accurate sense possible, or at least that we can muster. So I recommend starting reading from an early age, and to underline and look up every word we don't understand, so that we'll have it at our disposal throughout our life. And then to carefully work to pick the right words. Again, not showy. It distracts people when you use words that are showy, because they focus on the words, not on their meaning. But it's also good to have the right words. Doesn't mean you can't use those big words. You just have to use them judiciously. Okay, and then eloquence comes with practice. Practice speaking and writing, just a lot of it. I recommend a daily blog post and whatever means you can find to actively talk and speak, and to listen to a lot of good speakers so you can hear what eloquence sounds like. And then prudence is our ability to filter our words through our meaning, through our values as we're saying them and writing them out, so that what we communicate is in alignment with our values. That leads to the aforementioned integrity as well. Also, an important part of public speaking is the ability to listen carefully. It's funny how I never really mentioned that before. Be more attentive when having a conversation. Be attentive to what someone else is saying, not just readying ourselves for our next volley. And then rumor and gossip, avoid those. Those are sins, as I'll mention later. Next comes distraction and agency in the great indifference. We spend our lives distracting ourselves with our work and our hobbies, our family, our politics, sports, gossip, rumor, religion, ideas about God, all of these things. What are we distracting ourselves from? I think we're distracting ourselves from the fact that we're alone. We're not alone from one another, but we're alone in the universe where we don't have a soul. There's no afterlife, and there's nobody out there to give a damn or to enforce any universal justice or to look out for us or to have a plan. That's the thing we don't want to see. That's why we do not go alone. I recommend going alone to encounter this, the thing I call the great indifference. It's an eye-opener. Okay, next is, that was two principles together. Distraction and agency in the great indifference. Next comes fiver. Temperance. Life will not go well. The horror show. That which must be borne. And the feast of offal. Take those together, and we have to work hard to build up our ability to control our consumption of life. And I've been really bad about eating lately. I've been eating too much, and I'm putting on weight again. Since the movie, Nico and I have been working hard and trying to create our home and rewarding ourselves with cookies at the end of it. Oh, at the end of the day, maybe a little too much eating out. So, but overall, temperance, our ability to self-control, has the benefits all in all in many ways, namely our ability to control our consumption of life, our thoughts, and everything. The next part of that is the recognition that life will be difficult. It will have difficult things throughout the day. I'm about to begin my 9-hour workday. And there will be difficulties throughout the day today. I'm ready for that. I'm not ready for it, but I know it's coming. And then the horror show. Sometimes those difficulties will be of horrifying levels. Stuff that's hard to wrap our heads around. And I'm not strong enough this morning to think about those things. So I'll move on. It's rare that I am. That which must be borne with an E, carried, is the fact of the horror show and the fact that life will not go well. It's our responsibility to carry that stuff. And then finally the last one is the feast of offal. It's what we do when we get upset and throw our upset out into the world and spread it around everybody. It's not a good thing either. Okay, now comes the best seat in the house, to be all right with who I am, where I am, and what I'm doing right now. At all times, all the while striving for better. Next comes a forfer. The restless man, the path of wildness, the great life adventure, and the risk of avoiding risk. Taken together, this is the restlessness that we may feel as a young man or woman in our late teens and early 20s, maybe even starts at the mid-teens for some of us, and that restlessness that we feel. And if we don't do something about it, it'll haunt us all of our lives. That's stepping upon the path of wildness. When we make that juncture away from the safe and sane, the course that we're on, the familiar track that we're on, towards something new, we go onto the path of wildness. That leads to a great life adventure, an experience that's novel and unique for us and helps to form our character and the story of our life. And then the last part is the risk of avoiding risk. It's the risk of not doing that, wanting it but not doing it, and the consequence that will come later in life when we focused instead on the surface level risks only of education, career, home, family, and security in our old age. Focusing on those things is great, but if we do so fully at the expense of our youthful desire for adventure, then we may find the results lacking when we get to old age and we've got all of these. I have 5, but we never satisfied that inner craving for our story of our own. That's a good title too, but I'll let that one go. I like the tick better. Okay, now comes the season of philosophy. It's a time to record what we've learned along the way, or whatever, not what we've learned, whatever words come to us, whatever the muse wants to say. And then the bullseye aim, shooting for the mark but usually missing, the uphill climb, steadily moving upward in life. Upwards towards what? Upwards towards improved living, better self-control, temperance, virtue, having a solid, strong purpose, virtue-filled purpose in life. That's the upward climb. Arena and utility. Life is this arena for the development of principles and objectives that we can use towards our purposeful ends. Bullseye aim. Nothing is enough. Recognizing that sometimes less is a lot better. And then lastly, the principle of fun. Reminder to have fun now, plan for fun in the future, and remember the fun we've had in the past. I like the way that came out. Okay, now let's plan for today. That was my creed. Today, I've got a solid day of work. It's a Monday. I've got some problems I need to solve. So there's nothing more to do than just to do it. So I'll finish this video. I'll upload this video. My purpose for the day will then be complete, and I can then die at ease after I finish uploading the video and sharing it out. Death can come for me anytime then after that, and my purpose is done. Everything else is just working in the coal mine until tomorrow when I do it again. Yeah, I like that. And then I'll finish my day of work. I'll go to the beach and do my ocean swim. Of course, I'll walk the dogs, feed the dogs, etc. I'll take care of them. All right. Thanks for joining me. Be safe, but not too safe. Tick, tick, tick.